What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Today is Monday. I believe it is 15th of April, so 2024. If you have not done your taxes, this is the last day you can do your taxes, so that's a heads up for anybody watching this, and you haven't done your taxes, you got to get those in before nighttime, I believe. So, but anyways, I want to talk a little bit about the importance of friendship because I talk about addictions and stuff like that, right? And there's one thing that helps out drastically. Well, I mean, it can hurt and it can help at the same time, depending on who you choose to surround yourself with. Like friend wise and stuff like that. So sometimes if you surround yourself with more toxic friends or people that aren't as around and you make them important, and they're not there for you as you are for them, sometimes that could be all messed up for some people, right? It might destroy them psychologically. It might make them think that there are no good people, that there are no people that'll have their backs if they need help and stuff like that, right? That the world is just kicking them while they're down. But sometimes it could just be it's because of the people that they have, the people, they haven't made any real friends that are willing to tell them straight up what the problems are or something, that aren't real with them, that just want to tell them what they want to hear. And sometimes, that's not the best route to go just because somebody tells you the things you want to hear and, things like that. You want to try to surround yourself with friends that are going to be real and that aren't going to sugarcoat things for you, because sometimes, you need to be shown reality. Sometimes you got to be told those things, and, some when I was a kid, that's I fell into that kind of stuff too, right? A lot of people do. They'd rather be friends with somebody that is going to beat around the bush and aren't going to be who they really are with them, because then they start building up a distorted reality or something, and when it comes crumbling down and, ultimately you're left with, nothing, things seem hopeless, right? But, those real ones that aren't going to lie to you, that aren't going to, sugarcoat these things for you, they're going to be around. They're going to still be around. And, in this life, sometimes, help isn't what you think it is. Help isn't from a friend that is going to do everything for you, going to supply you with a place to live, feed you, and stuff like that, because a lot of people's reality, that does not exist. A lot of people, they got to grind, they got to work hard for the things that they have. So, especially if they got families or something, they're not going to be able to lug some other people around if they're not, they might help you get back on your feet or something, but that's a totally different picture than if you're gonna take advantage of a situation too, you know what I mean? So, and because I've seen it time and time again, with some friends, some family, and stuff like that. They get taken in, and they're obviously grateful because they have nowhere to go, and all of a sudden they have a falling out. You hear this, that, and another thing from both sides, and you don't know who to trust. You can only go off of what you've seen or stuff like that, and sometimes with just evidence, because anybody can tell you anything. So, but if you've been in those situations where those people, they don't want to dig themselves out, they want to instead of saving their money up, getting their own place, trying to buy a vehicle or something, they'd rather just party it up, use drugs and stuff like that, right? And not take care of their living situation sometimes. And sometimes that's a great big burden, right? And they might do that kind of stuff. So sometimes when you're real with those people, they'll push you away anyways. But that's a good thing for you, because you're not gonna lie. You're not gonna lie. You want somebody to treat you the way you treat them as be real with them and stuff like that. So, when these wake up calls happen, and they might happen to some people a few times before they actually start to pull their stuff together. If not, then they're gonna stay in the same situation. They're gonna stay in the same mentality and almost go nowhere, right? So when you're looking for some of these friends, you're gonna fight like siblings. If you don't know what that is, sometimes it's hey man, we have our arguments, but you're still my bro. You're still my guy. But they're still gonna have your back no matter what. It's not gonna be something like, sometimes it might be physical. You never know. Like, depends on what you're doing. You play some sports, and somebody says some words, and you just you're just too damn competitive, and you can't let it go or something. Of course, but you get past it. You get past your differences, regardless, right? End of the day, you're like, hey man, you still need a ride home, or whatever. How's the family? Stuff like that, and yo, my bad, bro. It's just heated moment. Emotions got the best of me. Stuff like that. And sometimes you ain't gotta apologize. You ain't gotta say nothing, because you both know already. You both have this unspoken bond that hey man, that's just who we are. We're gonna clash sometimes, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have, is a little bit of camaraderie, a little bit of having somebody able to pick you up when you're down, whether they say something or not. But that, they're gonna be there in ways that, might not seem, like it's always like, they're catering to you or something like that, because, real friends aren't gonna cater to you. They're gonna do their best to succeed, and they're showing you the way at the same time, but they can never do it for you, right? Nobody can walk your path in life like you can, but, they can help you, they can guide you a little bit, they can, help set you straight and stuff like that. And, it's a good thing. Make friends, talk about it, shoot the shit, bitch and complain, bicker about it, and, talk about theories of life, your theory of life, like that's how you bond with people. That's how, sometimes that's going to be more therapeutic for you. There's a lot of people that you can't really trust with some secrets in your life. Like there's some things you tell some people, and there's some things you don't tell other people, right? But how do you get there? You get there by learning trust and stuff like that. And sometimes you trust the wrong person, and it's going to happen. But it's better to go through those hardships than to not go through them at all. Because it's just not the life. They show you certain people, and not all people are going to be the same. Like there's people always say there's signs to certain people sometimes, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you might think you've seen some sign that you've seen from somebody that flaked from you in the past. Some people do those, but sometimes people just forget. You got to realize that, and some people don't do it on purpose. Some people are just busy as shit, busy doing all they can, and at the end of the day, it is going to be, priorities are going to be dependent on the individual, and stuff like that. So when you have friends, they're, you watch them, you see what they do, and like you're gonna have other friends that they're gonna prioritize, their life, their family, where they stay at, what they drive, over other things, like drinking and partying and stuff like that. And those are good things to do. They'll save up money. They'll put money away after they put up do rent and stuff like that. And then then they'll think about having a drink, having a smoke, or doing stuff like that. And those are probably the people you want to have in your life more so than somebody that just wants to drink and, tap you of all your energy, somebody that's going to help you out when you need help, but at the same time, you're going to help them out if they need help, You tell them, hey, you ever need help? Hit me up. I'll be on my way, and they'll do the same for you and things like that, They might not always be able to, There's situations where, family situations happen. I was going to go to this cookout a few years back, and then my dad, he got sick, so I was like, I had to be at the hospital. I had to be there for my family, right? And, I messaged him that. And then the guy didn't, one of the people didn't talk to me for like 2 months. And I'm like, whatever, I don't care. What am I going to do? My dad was sick. I said I was sorry. He went to the hospital. My family's going to be more important than eating some hamburgers and hot dogs and having a couple drinks with some people, And, sometimes that's, if they don't understand that, then that's fine. You don't have to be friends with them. They're showing you who they are, right? And you don't ever have to apologize for that, especially if it's something like that. If you have to go take care of business with family, be there for them and stuff like that. However that looks like, you gotta support them in any way you can. And it's not like that's how it's gonna be for some friends, They need the support, something happens to them, and you're there for them. And they're there for you. They ask you, they worry about you sometimes too, But you got to realize that sometimes, especially as adults, it doesn't look the same as when you're a kid, because they'll have responsibilities too. So, but surround yourself with good friends. They'll help you with a lot of things. Just talking, calling you up, and giving you advice. Growing up, I thought it was different too. I thought friendship was going to be different when you hit a certain age. You fantasize. You have some weird fantasy where you guys all live in this big old house or something, and you guys just whatever. And that's not going to be the case, right? And it's not always, especially when people want to start making their own families and stuff like that. So. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great one. And if you're out there, you're struggling and stuff like that, try to make some friends, open up a little bit, watch out for the people you do trust. You gotta, not only do they have to earn that trust, you also have to give that trust, stuff like that. But if they show you some signs that you don't trust them all the way, there's a lot of times where there's people that will put a lot of trust in some people that don't really have their back, I'll share this one last story before we go, though. I had this friend, I thought he was one of my best friends at the time, right? Get off work, we're drinking, this is in Wobbin. And, I shouldn't say we're drinking. He starts drinking, he opens up a bottle, had a bottle saved in a stash before he got to work so that he could drink after work. And, this is one of the rare occasions where I just have a little sip because I had to wake up. I promised the girl I was dating at the time that we would do stuff the next day, right? And... but anyways, we go to this party to our other friend's house, and everybody's drunk as shit. My buddy, he's starting to get tipsy because he's slamming this bottle pretty fast, and a lot of people I had friends that I were friends with drank a lot. So, and I did too. So I'm not judging them. This is just a fact. This is truth. And one of our other friends was having an argument with his girlfriend. And I had to go to White Earth anyways. They said that this girl, she said she lived in White Earth. I'm like, I'm not trying to pick up on you or anything like that. I'm not trying to do whatever. And I'm like, hey, Dave, if this comes back like tomorrow or something, they say that I'm trying to pick up this dude's girl, our guy's girl. You got my back. He's like, of course, bro, of course. And I'm like, all right, dude, let's... hey, you need a ride? I see you're crying and stuff. We're going to White Earth. This chick was trying to call her sister. was getting no answer. It was early in the morning, we get off work 6 in the morning. So a lot of people, if they were drinking because it was the weekend, they're not gonna get up. They're passed out. They're drunk. They got to recover or whatever. And she said, "No, thank you." I'm like, "All right, that's cool, but I just letting you know that I wasn't trying to pick you up or anything like that. This guy, he lives out in White Earth. I was willing to give you a ride, because I see that you're sad and you're crying. Nobody deserves to sit on a couch and cry and while they want to go home. But whatever. Took off. Took my friend home. I went home. Went to sleep like a baby. Did whatever. Had to go back to work. And then my buddy's like, "Why are you trying to pick up our boy's girl?" I'm like, "I wasn't trying to pick up nobody, And then I was like, "Ask Dave, man, that dude knows." And he's like, "I don't know. I'm not going to get in there, so I'm not a part of that. This, that, and another thing." I'm like, "I thought you had my back, man. What the fuck? Oh, I ain't getting in between the shit, like whatever you got going on." I'm like, "What are you talking about? There was nothing going on. You were there. Like, what the fuck?" So, there's going to be people like that who show you those type of signs, right? That claim to have your back, and when stuff like that pops around, they're willing to have you go down. They don't give a fuck about you, right? That's what that spoke to me. And after that day, I knew, I was like, this ain't my guy. You know what I mean? This is not a person that I'm going to trust. This is not, this guy calls me bro, but he ain't got my back. He ain't no brother. My brother would get my back. My brother would say, tell you how it is, Ain't fucking lying. I was just trying to help somebody out, right? And it's like, whatever. Our other guy, he didn't, he didn't say much. I told our other bro, and he's like, all right, I believe it, like, whatever. I'm like, "Man, that's fucked up. This dude ain't saying nothing, though." I'm like, I didn't tell him that. I'm like, whatever, dude. Man, fuck this dude. But, I'm glad that, at least our other friend, other brother of mine, brother from another mother, was able to speak up, and he believed, I'm not somebody that's like that, and he knew that I wasn't. So instead of creating drama, he helped, smooth it over. Didn't have no problems, whatever, So that's a good thing, because sometimes some people get fucked up from this stuff, it's not something to play with, like that could be a rough accusation, because this girl was pretty drunk, and she thought I was trying to pick her up or something, and her boyfriend could have shot me, could have stabbed me, could have got some friends beat me up, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But it didn't escalate to that situation, which it can, and people have seen it happen many times over misunderstandings, because people choose to drink and stuff like that. So you gotta watch out for that stuff too. So anyways, thanks for hearing my little ramble. I hope you guys have a great one, and get you a friend that has your back, man, a real one. They're hard to come by, but you have to greatly appreciate them when you get them. And, till next time, guys, peace.